treated with grace and dignity and respect, especially if you're going to prolong your stay, because whatever you sow, wherever you go, that's what you yourself is going to reap. And we're supposed to be ambassadors for the Lord, goodwill. And when we cross that line, then what we have is something that's not real, generic. You have something generic, it's like singing the same song that you just heard now with no anointing at all. You're just reading the words, and if someone was singing that song and had no anointing at all, and then someone else sang it with anointing, could you tell the difference? That is what aloha is supposed to be. Is that aloha is supposed to be something from the heart, not just from the mind. Yes, the mind is also, but the heart has to be involved. Because if the heart's not involved, then you're never going to touch someone else's heart. So you can be the greatest of the greatest in anything, but if your heart is not in it, you really can't touch people. And that means you cannot depend just on the words. And even you cannot even depend on the tone, because the tone is nothing without the spirit, right? And so I will start with stating that aloha has 5 words. And the number 5 in aloha means uncommon favor, because it's the number 5, and that's the number of God's grace. We're saved by what? By grace through our faith. So it has 5 letters, signifying that the design of these 5 words is that right here in this place, there's uncommon favor from God. Uncommon means that we don't deserve it. Unmerited favor. It's there. And everyone that comes to Hawaii is experiencing favor that they should not even have it, but it's unmerited. It's not earned, in other words. And if you didn't earn something, that means you should do something about being so thankful that you have something that you never earned. To live in Hawaii, to live in this aloha climate and atmosphere, it is a grace of God. This could even take on an entire different total thought of concept, of principles, even of possible understanding if we really understood it, because the Aloha Spirit can bring us together. We have a division. We have divisions in churches. We have divisions in homes. Why? Because we're not practicing what true aloha is. So, if the Aloha State was named something other than aloha, it would be something different. But God predestined before the foundation of this earth that this particular 8 islands would be known as the Aloha, the state of Aloha, or the nation, better, of Aloha. Aloha then is considered, later on, as the governments began to take over, rather than after the overthrow of the kingdom, there was a law that was passed, and I think it was the law 185-7 point something. You have to look it up. But this was a law that came into being. The word law seems to be a strong, kind of a strong sounding word, maybe too strong and too strict. But this is the problem that we have when we consider the Tanakh, the Old Testament, that the law of Moses seems to be so strong, just the word itself, and maybe it's too strict that people don't want to have anything to do with the law of Moses. But it's not supposed to be like a law is strict. A law is for safety. A law is to protect us. The law is not there to unless you're an evil tyrant, that you're going to pass laws that are going to be bad for the people. The stop sign is a law right there to stop. Why? Because pedestrians are going to cross there. Someone might get hurt. Okay, so aloha spirit is not is okay. So they made it a law, but it's not really a kind of law that will get you in trouble. Okay, so why would they make aloha or the spirit of aloha, a law here? I think one that its main purpose is to serve as a reminder. First and foremost, a reminder to the government, because if there's going to be people that are governing us, we want them to set the example of what the spirit of aloha is. I don't think they've done a very good job of that. And even though we have a Senate and there's a Congress, what is it, a Senate and the House of Representatives, and there may be maybe a lot of Hawaiian people there, if you compromise in order to obtain and hold on to the power, and you're not exercising as a Hawaiian the aloha spirit, then you become just like everyone else. So we don't need that. We don't need compromising, neither from the various cultures that are in this government or our Hawaiian people. If we're going to be the aloha state, we have to start from the top down, because that's the transfusion. It's like blood transfusion, right? That if you need blood transfusion to take out the bad blood, then let's get the good blood in there. So first of all, it's to remind our government officials while they are performing their duties. What? What is to remind them? One, that they need to treat the people with deep care and respect. If this is going to be a government by the people, it's the people. All right? And they need to be treated with care, and they need to be treated with great respect, just like they want to be treated themselves. So the aloha spirit, I think, is more than a lesson in a law. Because by learning and then applying first to the government officials, then we're going to be able to have a better society, a better ohana, a better world. Because the aloha spirit then is to be sent out, right? People come, they appreciate, they love the hospitality, the warmness, the aloha spirit, and they take it with them, and suddenly aloha is springing in another country that was birthed here by the 5 uncommon, unmerited favors of God. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at this a little closer now. If you're going to say, well, I have the aloha spirit. Do you have the aloha spirit? You have the aloha spirit. What is the aloha spirit? And I wrote it down here. It's the coordination first of the heart and the mind. You have to coordinate the heart and the mind, each one of us. We must think in such a way that we can release good feelings to others. They feel good around you. Okay? So let's take a look in the contemplation now, in contemplating the fact that there could be then a real essence of an aloha spirit, because we're now, coordinating our mind and our spirit, and it's not just appear, all right? If it's just appear, it's because you don't know the aloha spirit. Maybe you're just new to the islands and you love to say aloha, 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 hey, aloha, 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 aloha. Oh, well, that's nothing, because it's not coming from here. It's just coming from up here, all right? It's just like, saying to all believers, I love you. This is an American way, right? I love you, brother. I love you. But if something happens, where's the love? We disappear from each other. So why are we saying I love you if we're going to cast each other away. It was that we never really loved from here. We thought we were loving from here, but we were only loving from here. But if I say something, or I preach something, or I teach something that you don't like, you disappear. And you're taking all of that love. How can you stand it out there loving me so much and not seeing me? You know, it's that you really didn't love me that much at all. You see, your mind can only love so much.